Welcome everyone, and my name is Jess. I'm sales lead here at Showcode. First of all, this is welcome to everyone for joining our first ever episode of our Engineer Your Career series that we're going to be rolling out over the next few weeks or so. For anyone new that is joining, Showcode, just to explain a bit about what we do before I hand over to my lovely partners at Wise. So Showcode is a community platform for tech communities. So whether you're looking to get involved with hackathons, coding competitions, webinars such as this to work on your skills or meet new people, it's a great way for you to be able to start sort of building up your tech profile and connecting with lots of like-minded people within the tech space. You can create your profile at showcode.io. I will be sharing the link towards the end of the call as well, so you can navigate onto that after this call. Just a few housekeeping rules before I hand over. And we will be moderating the chat, so any questions that you have, please put them into the chat channel. Feel free to say hi to our lovely host today, and we will be going through all questions though towards at the end of the session rather than throughout, just so we don't interrupt the flow and everything. So it's not we're ignoring you, it's easier for us to come back to them towards the end. Anything recruitment specific, Amika will be picking up, and then anything more technical, Alexandra will be able to cover. So without further ado, I will be handing over to our lovely partners at Wise. Alexandra will be doing a session around how to get your first role in engineering. So thank you so much both, and I'll let you do your introductions, and I'll go on mute for the next sort of half hour or so.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Hey everyone, I'm Alexandra. I'm an engineering lead at Wise, and I'm going to present today. Amaka, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Yes, thank you. So my name is Amaka, and I'm an early careers recruiter at Wise. So I'll be on hand in case you've got any recruitment-based questions or any early careers questions. But I will also put myself on mute and just hand it back to Alexandra.
Cool, thank you. All right, so let me share screen. Cool, I think it should be good. So welcome everyone. I'm going to now present about how to score your first engineering role. It's going to be kind of like a personal story of mine. So this talk is about my personal journey to machine learning and engineering in general. It's not a miracle story, not a motivational speech, just a story about someone like you. Someone who made a lot of not well thought out decisions and a couple of well thought out ones, got lucky a few times, and felt very much lost along the way. So today I'm an engineering lead at Wise. Previously, I was a machine learning engineer, and I started out as an aspiring pharmacist in a small Hungarian town. Don't worry, I still feel very lost sometimes, and my journey is far from over yet. I'm not here to give you a recipe for becoming an engineer or tell you I've made it. Instead, I would like to tell you a story that you can relate to in one way or another. You know, if she could do it, I can do it, kind of thing. So as I said, I'm from a small town in Hungary called Szeged. I grew up and went to high school there. My family is kind of middle class. Everybody works in healthcare. My mom and my grandma are pharmacists. My grandpa is a medical doctor. I've always felt predetermined to work in healthcare myself. In high school, my major was biology and physics, and I wanted to apply for medical school or pharmacy. There was actually a big debate in my family about which university I should choose. Back then, I was clueless about my future career. I was a very diligent student with good grades, but I didn't really spend time discovering my passion or subjects I was interested in. I felt I wasn't especially good at any subject, but fairly good in everything. I was quite lost when I had to decide which university I wanted to go to. I knew one thing, that I needed to discover myself. Last minute, I decided to apply to economics, going against the wishes of my family, and moved from my home city to Budapest, the capital. Here, I would like to acknowledge that I had and still have a lot of privileges. I was born in a European country, in a middle-class family, where I was very much encouraged to learn and succeed. Sometimes even too much, I would say. I have always been encouraged to have dreams and dream big. Oops. Yes. So I moved to Budapest to learn economics at the Budapest University of Technology and Economics. Similarly to high school, I was mostly focused on grades instead of exploring my own interests in the very beginning. In my first or second year, I joined a student organization called Kairos Society, a club for those interested in entrepreneurship and startups. Being surrounded with actual and wannabe entrepreneurs helped me build my own entrepreneurial spirit. I had the opportunity to meet the co-founder of PayPal, venture capitalists, and many prominent international and Hungarian entrepreneurs. They brought me closer to technology and showed me the power of innovation. These experiences encouraged me to pursue a career in technology myself. With the help of my boyfriend, who was a UX designer back then, I started learning HTML and CSS by taking courses on Codecademy. It took me about 2 months to go through the online tutorials, understand the basics, and be able to develop a really simple static website. Around this time, I started exploring graphic design and user interface design. I watched Photoshop tutorials on YouTube about how to design logos, leaflets, and websites. I did a lot of trial and error. I downloaded Photoshop and clicked all the buttons that seemed useful to see what they do. Later, I found Figma, an amazing browser-based design tool that you can use for user interface as well as graphic design. Luckily, my university course didn't demand me to study all day every day, so I had the time to explore these additional interests. If you're a student and interested in design, I recommend you use your free time to learn Figma. If you're interested in software engineering, I recommend you take the CS50 course from Harvard to start with. It was my first technical course that I did online after completing the HTML CSS tutorials and gave me a good understanding of the very basics of computer science. Don't worry if you don't understand everything the first time or you cannot complete the assignments without help. I struggled to complete the assignments myself, but I pushed through, and looking back, it was a very valuable experience. So using my new superpower of being able to develop static websites, I developed the websites for my mom's pharmacy. I told all my friends in Kairos Society that I do website design and development for free. So not long after, a couple of people approached me with their website ideas. So I developed the website for a short-let management company. This is the example on the on the slide. And a nonprofit organization as well. This is the second one. And inspired by my success as a web designer, I registered on Etsy and opened an Etsy shop selling logos and leaflets, or logo designs and leaflet designs, as well as some custom web designs. And shortly after, I got my first international clients from New Zealand and from the USA. I sold my designs for like $10 or so. I didn't do it for the money, but to get opportunities to learn. Over time, I did more and more web development and design projects and started to build my portfolio. If you would like to build a portfolio, I recommend you let your friends and family know about your services that you can offer, like web development. If you offer your services for free initially, it's almost certain that someone will take the opportunity and approach you with an order. So I graduated from university with a degree in economics. I found it difficult to find a full-time job after graduation. Most jobs available for economics graduates were focused on administration and paperwork, less on problem solving or creative tasks. So after a couple of months of job search, I joined a small beauty company as a junior marketing manager. Well, I was the only marketing manager, so I had to do some less junior tasks too. I learned a lot and made some good friends, but I didn't really see my work as important or influential. So while working as a marketing manager, I still did freelance work on the side. I developed websites and designed logos, leaflets. I struggled to see my future in marketing, so I decided to apply to a master's course in technology. Unfortunately, in Hungary, you cannot apply for a computer science master's if you don't have a computer science bachelor's degree. So I had to look for master courses that accept my economics degree abroad. I did not have the funds to actually pay a tuition fee abroad, so I needed a scholarship. I applied for a couple of universities in the UK and got accepted to the University of Stirling and was also offered a full scholarship. So I moved to Glasgow with my boyfriend. We moved to Airbnb after Airbnb until we found a flat that we could actually afford. So we moved into a very small, like 24 square meter studio apartment in a student accommodation. And I did the big data master's course at the university. This course taught me all the basics I needed to know as a data engineer. We learned about Python programming, databases like MySQL or MongoDB, and distributed computing in Hadoop. We also learned about basic machine learning and data visualization. So if you're considering a master's in the field of data science, I can very much recommend the programs of the University of Stirling. Writing my thesis was one of the most intellectually stimulating periods of my life. It gave me a solid foundation in machine learning and computer vision in particular. I benchmarked state-of-the-art computer vision models on a video dataset for an object detection task. Looking back, I'm really glad that I've chosen the research-oriented thesis rather than the placement at a company. So approaching the end of the academic year, I started looking for jobs in springtime. I find job search a very emotionally draining thing to do, especially if you're not an experienced engineer. I applied for close to 100 jobs, mostly in London, and interviewed for 10 or so. If you're looking for your first engineering job, my advice would be to apply for as many jobs as you can. I know some recruiters say that they are looking for applications catered for their company specifically, but I don't think that's realistic expectation from graduates. Of course, apply for relevant roles, but don't miss opportunities by not applying to some jobs. You should aim for a good balance between safety jobs, where you are likely to be accepted, competitive jobs, and dream jobs. And don't worry if your first job is not a dream job. You have your whole career to work yourself up to a level where you can get into your dream company and job. So I got a graduate job at Datatonic, a Google Cloud partner company in London. This was a rotational program where I got the chance to join multiple teams over the course of 12 months. I spent time on analytics, machine learning, and data engineering problems as well. I would recommend you to apply for similar programs where you can further explore your interests within your chosen field. Either way, I recommend you to spend your early career years exploring different subjects rather than focusing on a specific one. I had an amazing learning curve at Datatonic. I became a confident user of Google Cloud and a fairly competent data engineer. I managed to take the Google Cloud Professional Data Engineer certification within a year, which gave me great credibility for my upcoming job searches. I recommend that if you are a cloud engineer, software engineer, data scientist working with the cloud, that you aim to take one of these available certifications. These will give you credibility and a basis to ask for higher compensation at your current and future companies. So we millennials usually spend only a couple of years at the company. So conforming to this trend, to this stereotype, I left Datatonic and looked for other adventures after 2 years. So after leaving my first company, I joined a healthcare startup as a data engineer, which unfortunately didn't live up to my expectations. So I left them in my probation period. I needed a lot of courage to quit as it was the time of the start of the pandemic. Many things seemed uncertain. For some time, I have had the idea of recording an online course about Apache Airflow, a technology that I used extensively in my work. I noticed that there were few high-quality courses available online, on Udemy or other learning platforms. After quitting the healthcare startup, I decided to take a break and spend some time recording this online course before looking for another job. I spent about 2-3 months recording the course and published it on Udemy. I received relatively large traffic in the first couple of weeks and also great reviews. So I decided to record another online course, but this time about Apache Beam, a data processing framework. In parallel, I started building my own platform where I could host my courses called DataStack TV. DataStack TV is a learning platform for data engineers where I and other instructors publish short, concise courses about technologies concerning data engineers. As of today, DataStack TV has more than 1,000 students from all over the world. Building DataStack TV was an amazing adventure, but I could not make enough money to sustain myself, and I started running out of my savings as well. Also, running my own business on my own burned me out. I took on too many responsibilities and too ambitious plans. Navigating financial instability is also tough, especially if you live far from your family and support network. Working on your own ideas is an amazing adventure and something I would like to continue myself, but be aware of its downsides. You need to build resilience both emotionally and financially. I think the best way of building resilience is to actually try again and again. I tried with DataStack TP and I will definitely try again. So after DataStack TV, I got the amazing opportunity to join WISE as a machine learning engineer. I joined a machine learning platform team responsible for designing, building, and maintaining a platform serving data scientists in the company. Data scientists use our platform to process and analyze data, train machine learning models, and deploy those models to production. As machine learning engineers, we do a combination of software engineering and platform engineering and data science work. We mostly use Python for programming. We also use Terraform for building infrastructure. Our infrastructure is hosted on Amazon Web Services or AWS. The most important technologies that we use are AWS SageMaker for training models, Apache Spark for processing data, and Flask for building REST APIs, and Apache Airflow for scheduling pipelines. So beyond the platform teams, WISE has many different engineering teams. For example, product engineers are responsible for developing the WISE product. They mostly work with Java and develop microservices. In each product team, there is a couple of data scientists working on data science problems relevant to that product team. We also have more than 100 analysts scattered across the product teams, analyzing data and validating hypotheses. Engineering is quite male-dominated at WISE, like everywhere else. So in the beginning, I was often intimidated by being on a call with very few or no female engineers, but I managed to build up my confidence with the help of my amazing mentor, a female engineering lead at WISE. We also have a strong female community. I recently actually had a very pleasant morning coffee with a couple of female engineers. So since then, I moved to a different team in product engineering, where we are responsible for managing financial risk. So I got the amazing opportunity to lead this team as an engineering lead. So overall, so far, I had a great experience at WISE, and I recommend you give WISE a go when it comes to your next job search. So these are the main points I would like you to take home from this talk. These are recommendations for someone who wishes to become a machine learning engineer or a software engineer one day. So if you're not a computer science student, but would like to work in tech one day, I recommend you spend your free time exploring your interests as a student. For example, learn a programming language like Python, learn how to create websites with HTML and CSS, or learn about design tools like Figma. This will give you a good basis how to progress further in tech after you finish or even quit your degree. Start building your portfolio by offering your web development services for free or just development services for free. You are in an easier position if you are learning front-end or full stack because you can offer creating websites or web applications. But either way, creating static websites is an easy and hands-on way of getting started in programming. Even if you would like to do backend or machine learning one day, it's a good entry to tech. Get clients by telling your friends and family about your new skills. That's how I got my first clients to develop websites. It seems obvious, but it works. If you have a non-technical bachelor's degree and would like to become a machine learning engineer or just a software engineer, I recommend you apply for masters or boot camps in data science or software engineering or data engineering if you can. I know that not all of you have the time and resources to do that, but if you have the opportunity, I recommend you take it. After university or bootcamp or self-learning, I recommend you apply for graduate programs that allow you to explore many areas in engineering and data science. This can help you identify which is the field you are most interested in. Later in your career, I recommend you take cloud certifications, either from AWS, Google Cloud, or Azure, to increase your credibility. This will also help you negotiate higher salaries. All right, hope you enjoyed this talk and there were some interesting bits you could relate to. I hope now you feel if she could do it, I can do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alexandra. That was really inspiring. Like really great to hear. Just waiting for some of the questions to come through from anyone in the chat. Just a quick question. I mean, something that I was thinking of in terms of, because we get quite a few Athena community members or community members in general who may be looking to move countries or specifically move to the UK. What would be like your top tips for someone who's maybe looking at doing that?
Well, I would say, like, for example, at WISE, we have some relocation support, which is great. So if you can get a graduate job at a company where they support you with your relocation, that's the best. Yeah, otherwise, I would say, like, it is quite tough. Like, initially, financially moving to another country is quite tough. So you have to save up for doing that, because, I don't know, moving to London is not a cheap thing. But I think most of the companies, they, even for the interview process, they offer support. So if you need to fly to that country to interview, then they will, I think, help you funding your travels. So that's great. And if they don't do that, then I guess, like, don't spend all your savings on just interviewing. Like, try to look for companies that support you with the interviewing process.
No, definitely. That's really great. Thank you. Here we go. So we've got one question from Lillian. So Amika, thank you. So anyone who is looking at some opportunities at the moment, Amika's just shared some links for the graduate software engineering and engineering internship, which in a moment Amika can share a bit more information about. But I just got a question from Lillian first. What tasks do your ML models perform?
So we have more than 100 machine learning models deployed in production at WISE, and they perform a really diverse set of tasks. So I would say we have the most number of models in fraud detection. So when we are trying to catch, it is like in the field of anti-money laundering and fraud detection. And then we have fewer models in marketing and in treasury, where we try to kind of predict liquidity on the markets or liquidity planning for our accounts. So those are kind of complex data science tasks, but our main focus is fraud detection and anti-money laundering.
Perfect, thank you. Question from Nicole. How long did it take you to develop and complete your first web project?
I think it was, I need to remember which one. I think maybe that was the website for my mom, the purpose. I think it was a couple of months, I would say, like maybe 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah.
4 to 6 weeks, perfect. Thank you. So no other questions at the moment. Amika, did you want to give a bit of an overview regarding the links you've shared, like the different opportunities and so on at WISE, for those who may be interested?
Yeah, sure. So at the moment, within the early careers software engineering area, we have a graduate program and an internship program. So starting off with the internship program, it's a 10-week summer internship program, and it's typically geared towards undergrads. So give you pretty much an opportunity to intern at WISE. You also get a choice in whichever area you'd like to specialize in, front end, back end, mobile development. We try our best to place you in the area of your choice, so you obviously enjoy your internship as much as possible. And we run that internship with the aim of you obviously returning to us as a grad. So the aim is hopefully at the end of those 10 weeks, you receive a grad offer and you join us in your penultimate year, you go back to university, and then once you've completed university, you come back to us as a grad. We also have a grad program, which is, of course, open to grads who you are within, I guess, 1 or 2 years of completing your degree. And that's initially a 1-year program. And then again, with the view of you obviously being assimilated into the software engineering community at WISE. So that's kind of just a quick overview of those 2 roles. But if you do want a bit more information on them, just make sure you click on the links, and there's a lot more information on our website.
I think you're on mute.
Muted myself so I didn't interrupt you with any background noise from my pets who are like running around the house at the moment. And so there's a question from Galina regarding the positions. Are they only available in London?
So at the moment, we only have London-based roles, but we may have roles globally coming up a little later. So perhaps in Budapest and in Tallinn, which is in Estonia. But UK-based, yes, only London at the moment.
Okay, great. Thank you. Just checking.
Yeah, we are actually hiring an intern and a graduate in my team as well in risk engineering. So if you want
to nudge. Touching on that, what does the tech team look like at Wise? Obviously, you're part of one team, Alexandra, but what's sort of like the structure?
Yeah, so in general, we have a platform engineering team, and then we have product engineering teams. We also have UT and security looking after like IT things on the UT side, and then security is security engineering, and then the rest of the teams are product engineering teams. So they look after some parts of the product. And I specifically work in treasury now. So I actually started this new engineering lead role a couple of months back. I moved from platform engineering into this product engineering team. And then in treasury, we look after the financials of the company, as the name suggests. And I'm specifically in the risk team, where we try to mitigate financial risk by hedging. So we are building a smart hedging stack for running different strategies for doing hedging, as well as we are responsible for supplying the rates, the market rates for the rest of the company. And we are also looking after risks which are not generated necessarily by the financial markets, but by our customers. So how they behave on our platform. Some customers are trying to kind of exploit using Wise. They try to gain money on us, and we try to detect these behaviors in different ways as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Well, there hasn't been any further questions. So if anyone does have further questions and they come through after we've ended the call, then we will make sure that these are shared with Wise. But I just want to say personally, thank you to Wise, Alexandra and Amika for coming on this evening to discuss, first of all, Alexandra, obviously your journey into tech and being really sort of interesting and really, really great to see sort of you move over from Hungary and the success you've seen since that. And then obviously Amika, obviously the roles that you've got at Wise at the moment. When is the closing date for those roles? Is there a closing date or are they rolling?
So they're rolling, but we are currently recruiting now. So if you are interested, please apply as soon as possible.
Fabulous. Okay, great. And I'm pretty sure they're also on your hub as well. So for anyone that hasn't created their Showcode profile yet, make sure to follow. Once you create, I've sent the sign up link already in the chat. So create your profile and then go onto the hubs and make sure to follow Wise. And then in there is all of the jobs that are available as well. Or you can go via the links in the chat. But if you know any friends also that could be interested, definitely just get them directed to these links or via the Showcode hub, and they'll be able to apply for them. So can we connect with you on LinkedIn? There we go. Yeah. Let me quickly, I should be able to share everyone, unless you can find them. I'm sure it'd be quite easy to find them on LinkedIn, but I can quickly share the links because I think I had you all up very little while ago. I just sent you both a connection request because I didn't realize we weren't connected yet, which surprised me. But yeah, that's completely fine. And we'll get the links shared very shortly. I don't think my internet's going to go quick enough for me to get those shared on this chat right now. I know one of my colleagues is on the call, so maybe they've got a little bit faster internet connection than me. Was there anything, Amika, you wanted to cover finally before we finish the call regarding the careers opportunities?
No, I think we've covered everything actually.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, as I say, Lillian, I'll get those links shared very shortly. They'll be in the chat. So if you just hold on for literally 5 minutes, I'll be able to post those in the chat for you, so you can connect with both Alexandra and Amika. And if you want to connect with myself, you're more than welcome to. I'm always happy to connect. But thank you both so much. Have a lovely rest of your evening, everyone. And thank you for attending. And any more information that you want, just let us know, and we can get that passed on to Wise for them to follow up with you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.